Hey guys, in this video I'll show you how to make an Airbnb style marketplace with stays and experiences. So we'll start by making the front page, then we'll set up all the logic in the back office, and then we actually go through the whole flow and make 2 bookings. So if you're considering making an Airbnb style marketplace, this video is for you. Let's do it. Okay, so here's what we are going to be building today. So we are going to be picking the rental marketplace, and then we are going to be calling our marketplace Haven. So it's kind of like an Airbnb kind of exclusive marketplace. So then we'll start by customizing the homepage, and then we'll create 2 types of listings. So 2 types of listing types. So stays and experiences. So stays, that's homes. So it's a per night calendar, and it's the property types. So experiences, we're going to be making 1 experience, that's a horse riding experience. So this is a per person plus date and time, and we're gonna be making a custom experience level. Then we'll make the sign up form. We'll be asking about a little bit more than just the email. We'll then create 2 listings, so a stays listing and an experience listing. So we'll add photos, pricing, and an availability, of course. We'll set up the iCal 2-way sync, and we'll then connect Stripe with our test keys. We'll then also go quickly through how the deferred onboarding works, and we'll then make a live booking, and we'll also request and approve and pay, and we'll see the payout, and we will then get our 10% commission, which is the one that we will set for this marketplace. Okay, so let's do it. So I'm here on Prometora, and I am now picking my template. I could also go the AI route, but now I'm just going to be picking the rental marketplace template. So I picked that one, and the name was then Haven, right? Actually like this. Okay, and then we create marketplace. Great, and now you can see we have our template here. So out here we can make whatever page we would like to make. So right now we just have a front page, an about, and a contact page. And over here you can then adjust everything for all elements by just clicking on an element, and then you can adjust it. So we are just gonna be making a front page today for our marketplace, and then we'll adjust the navigation. We'll drag and drop another component in here, and we probably also delete some of these ones down here. We can actually do that to begin with. So we're not going to be using this one, so we delete that component. FAQ, we're also just going to be deleting that one, and we keep that one actually. Let's keep that one. Now let's pick another image for the hero here. Okay, so I'm uploading another image, and you can now see it here. Okay, cool. Now let's just adjust the H1 here. So I have another text here. Let's add this one, and we also adjust the description text here to this one. So exceptional homes, unforgettable experiences, discover handpicked private homes and curated experiences in the world's most beautiful places. Your next escape starts with Haven. Cool. Okay, good. Let's just remove the quick searches there. And let's save. We remove this one as well. And we keep this one. This is a component where you can basically pull in whatever listing you would like to kind of show on the front page. So right now we don't have any listings, but I'll come back to this one. Good. Let's just maybe change the link here to the sign up. So when you click that one, it takes you to the sign up page, and we remove this one like that. Okay. Good. Now let's adjust the navigation. So we add some links up here. We remove the one for the front page. We have one to the all listings page, and we actually remove the ones for the about and contact. We're not going to have that to begin with. One thing I also want to add here on the front page is a featured sellers. So right now we have a featured listings component, that is this one, but let's also have a featured sellers one. So I click here on the components, and then I find the featured sellers component. I drag it in here and drop it. And now you can see that we can then highlight some sellers here. So right now we don't have any sellers, but we will come back to this one. So let me also just publish that one, and let's take a look. Okay, so it looks like this right now. So you have the H1 here, you have the hero image, then we have the featured listings. No listings are available because we didn't make any listings yet. And then we also have the featured sellers. Okay, good. So let's leave it like this for now. So now let's go to the next part, which is setting up the 2 different listing types. So the stays listing type and the experiences listing type. Let's do it. So I click down here on the store settings, and then it takes me to the back office, you could say. So this is where I set up all the logic and so on. So if I go here to the listing form, you can see that we only have one listing type right now, which is just called listing. So let's adjust that one and call it stays. And then we add another one called experiences. Good. So now we have stays and experiences. Okay, so for stays, the pricing model here is a per night pricing model with a calendar that is the date range. So let's save that. Now for experiences, the pricing model here is a per person pricing model, and the calendar is a date plus time slots. So we pick that. Now for stays, we would like to first of all have the iCal calendar sync here, and we would also like to add a custom field. So I click here on add custom field. So I'll then add a custom field called property type. So I add that here, and that is a select type. And then I add the options here. So that is a villa, estate, chalet, manor, or penthouse. Okay, good. You can see it over here. And we also just add a placeholder text here. Select property type. So you can see what it looks like over here. And we make this a required field. So you have to select it when you make a stays listing. And then for experiences, so I click on experiences, we also add a custom field, and we call this one experience level, select as well. And then we add the different options here. So that is basically beginner, intermediate, advanced, or all levels welcome. And I also make that a required field. And I also just add a placeholder text, which is select the experience level. So you can see what it looks like over here. Okay, good. And now for the host sign up form, let's adjust that one. And I know that I wrote list, location, about link, but actually I think we should just make it simple. So we then go to the sign up form, and you can then see what it looks like here, both from buyer's perspective and a seller's perspective. Okay, so first of all, first name, last name, email, those ones are always collected. So, but we don't need the phone number, I would say. So let's not have that one. Terms and conditions, yes, let's have that one on, and you would then add the terms here, of course. Okay, buyer sign up fields, we allow buyers to sign up. So if we toggle that one off, it would just look like this, but let's have a buyer as well. And we can adjust the names here right after. So seller sign up field, so business address, shipping address, so of course the listing address, but that is on the listing itself, so we don't need to ask for that right now. But let's add a custom field now. So we're not going to be using the wizard here. So if I click here, that would be a step-by-step one. We're not going to be using that one here. We just make it very simple. So actually, I'm just going to be asking about where did you hear about us? How did you hear about us? That's a drop down, and I just add the options here. So Instagram, Google, referral, other. So then you can see it here, and let's make that a required field. Good. And as we just talked about just before, buyer and seller, that sounds a bit weird for an Airbnb kind of marketplace. So let's rename them to guest and host. Cool. So now it is guest and host. That's better, right? Okay, good. So now we're asking on the guest side, we're asking about the first name, last name, and email, and then they have to agree to the terms and conditions. And on the host side, we're then asking for the first name, last name, email, business name, optional, and this one, how did you hear about us? And they also have to agree to the terms and conditions, and then they can sign up basically. Okay, and now we go to our own marketplace and sign up, and then we create two listings. So a stays listing and an experience listing. And then we also just set up the iCal two-way sync for the stays listing. Let's do it. So I go here to my marketplace and I just click here on view live. Then I go here and click, and then I basically go here to the sign up and I sign up as a host. So now you can see that it's asking me about all the fields that we just added. So I just go ahead and sign up. You can see that I then get an email sent with a magic link. I click here on the email, and now I'm in the seller dashboard area. So if I then go here to the create listing, you can see I can create two types of listings, stays or experiences. Let's make the stays listing first. Okay, so now I added a title, a description, I selected the property type here, I added two images, and I also added the calendar sync. So for two calendars, as you can see here, so that you cannot double book in case I also made this listing on other platforms basically. And by the way, if you go to the documentation and just search for iCal, you can see exactly how the iCal sync works. Now for the availability, I will add my availability. So I just select like this. And I add these 50 days. Okay. Now we add the prices. And we'll create the listing. Cool. So now we have this one live. Now let's also make the experience listing. So I pick experiences. I then add a title, description. I pick the experience level, so intermediate. I added one image here. I added the price. Now let's add the availability. We're just gonna do it quickly while the quick fill here. So we add these ones like this, and then we fill them. And let's say that you can basically do it from 8 to 18 all these days. So apply them. And I publish immediately and create the listing. Cool. Now you can see we have these two listings published. So an experience listing and a stays listing. Nice. So it looks like this. So you can see here on the stays category, we have this one listing. And if I click up here on experiences, we then have this one. If I click in on it, you can see all the details here. And you can then book that we will do in just a second. But let's also just look at the stays one. So it looks like this. Nice. One thing I just want to show you is that now that we have a seller, then on your marketplace, so first of all, we have the featured listings here. So you can see there are only 2 listings right now, so they are being featured on the front page. But down here, you then also have the featured sellers, where you as the marketplace owner would be able to pick which ones you would like to highlight. And if you then click on a seller, you then come to their seller profile page, you could say, where they themselves can write something about themselves. They can add their social media accounts if they would want to do that and write something about themselves. And of course, this is also optimized for mobile. And from the seller's perspective, they can adjust all this from their settings area here. So now I'm logged in as the seller, and you can see I can then add all the information here that I want to show on my seller profile page. Great, so now we're gonna do the last part. So we're gonna be connecting Stripe just using our test keys to begin with. Then we're gonna be talking a little bit about the deferred onboarding, how it works. So you can basically list before you onboard on Stripe as a seller. Then we're gonna make 1 or 2 bookings. We're just gonna be talking about the 10% commission, how to set that up. And then we're basically ready to launch our marketplace after we've been doing all this testing. Okay, so let's go back to the store settings. So I'm here in the store settings and I go to the payments area. So now you can see here that I can add my Stripe Connect keys here. So I click here and then it basically asks me about the publishable key and the secret key. So let's add those 2. So I go to my Stripe account. I'm in a test environment. So you can see I'm in a sandbox environment. I click on developers down here, click on overview, and you can then see I can copy my publishable key and my secret key here. So I'll do that now. So I copy this one and then I do the same for the secret one. And I click on save. Cool. So now we basically have enough to start testing. So if I then scroll down in the bottom here, you can see that I can set the commission rate here. So right now it is 10%, but I could easily change it to just 15. But as I was saying just before, we leave it at 10% for now. So I change it back to 10% and click save. And now we go to our marketplace again and sign up as a guest test user. So I'm just gonna sign up here. I then get the magic link. Cool. So now you can see that I'm logged in as a buyer. Let me go and browse the listings. So let's try and make a booking here on this stays listing. So I pick a date. From here to here, these 2 nights, I book them. Let's say we are 2 guests. I write a message here and I request to book. You can then see that it's pending approval. The seller then received this email. So you received a new booking request for this listing, for these dates, and this is the price. So let's respond to that one. You can then see the request here. So I'm logged in as the seller now. Let's go ahead and approve it. So I approve it and I write a short message. Looking forward and confirm. Great. Now the guest receives this email, as you can see here, and the guest then has to pay within 24 hours. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pay now. It then looks like this. So you can see I'm logged in as the buyer and I can click on the pay now button. So let's do that. Now I'm directed to Stripe and I'm just gonna add a test card here because again, we're just testing it. So we're in a sandbox environment. And I pay. And you can see that it went through. So payment was received. The buyer then received this payment confirmed email. So payment is confirmed. You can add it to the calendar. And the seller received this one. So here they can see exactly when the booking is and how much they will be making. So they will basically be earning $208. And they can message the guest if they need to send any more details. And on the seller side here, when I'm logged in, you can see the upcoming bookings here. You can also see it in a calendar view here. So here you can see that Rasmus will be coming to your place. And in order to then receive the money, the seller will have to basically onboard on Stripe. So you can see up here, connect Stripe now. So I just do that. You can see that it then asks me about some personal details. So again, we're just testing. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add something. I select the account and I agree and submit. So you can see that Stripe is now verifying the account information and I can then see all my money here on this new finance area where I can then also pay out to my actual account. Good, and now let's also just make a booking on the experience here, right? So I'm signed in as the buyer again, so I pick a slot. So let's just do 9:30 to 10:30 and I book it. I am one guest and I write something, I have experience and I request to book. Good, I then see my request here, it's pending. And the seller then received this one, new booking request, review and respond. Let's do that. So here on the pending requests, I can see here that I can approve this one. So let's approve it. I'm not gonna send a message here. I just go ahead and approve it. The buyer then receives this one. Let's click and pay. Good, and similar to before, I can then click the pay now and it redirects me to Stripe. And let's pay for this one. Great. So that also went through now. And the seller then received this one, payment received for the sunset horseback ride through the hills, and he will be earning $38. Now for you as the marketplace owner, you can of course see all the transactions here on Stripe. So you can see the two ones that just went through here, the 45 one and the 241 here. And if you go to your analytics area here, you can also see all the analytics for your marketplace. So the total GMV, your take rate, commission, and so on. So that is it, guys. I hope that you found this video interesting. And if you're considering building your own Airbnb clone, then please just go ahead and test out Prometora. There's a free trial. And also, if you like this video, please give it a like and maybe also subscribe to this channel. I hope you liked it again, and I hope to see you in the next one. See you. Bye-bye. Ciao.